Hello, hello. What the fuck? Uh-oh. Guys, if you can hear me, I'm having some issues real quick. 'Cause I'm hearing an echo. Can you guys hear an echo? If you can hear an echo, press one. Let me know if you can hear an echo. I was trying to do too much. Exit. Hello, guys. I think I can hear an echo, and I don't like that. Let me see if I do this. So you can hear an echo. Facebook. Okay, it's fine. All right. All right. Cool. Oh wait. Let's see. Melissa, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, guys? So I'm we're gonna get into this whole thing. We're gonna get into this whole thing about subcontractors, how I go ahead and I bring in our subcontractors and things that we do to make sure that we're able to provide the necessary value for all of our people that are coming in. And we do, we use subcontractors. That's one of the things that we absolutely do. So, when it comes to bringing in subcontractors, there's a few different things that we take into consideration. Okay. First and foremost is making sure that your business is even right to take in subcontractors. I know that, it's this new sexy thing that everybody's talking about, bringing in subcontractors, having a remote cleaning business. And I believe that model, I believe it does work. But it really just depends on where you are in your business. For me personally, where you are in your business and if you should even be implementing that. But that's a decision that you would have to make. The way that we look at things is, I make sure that I have a whatever the amount is on a monthly basis to cover all of my overhead drags. So, the rent in my office, making sure all of my employees are good, we have all the equipment, everything that we need to run the business, plus making sure that my household is taken care of and I still have profit. Once I have that amount, once I have that taken care of, then I'll go ahead and I'll start expanding out and using subcontractors. And really, subcontractors, that's a really good way to expand your business. So it's a really, really good way to expand. It's a really good way to grow. But you just really want to be careful in how you do it and making sure that it's right for you. Because if you do it prematurely, like I did, or I stayed in it a little bit too long, more than I should have, you can lose money, right? So I just want to go ahead and lay that out first and foremost before I go ahead and dive in. I do think that subcontracting using that model, it does work. I know for sure it does work, but it just really depends on where you are in your business and if that's the right thing for you to do, at that particular time. It may be something that you may have to wait, 3, 4, 5 months until you get that cushion up under you before you just go ahead and subcontract out everything. Right. And then also you want to make sure you have all your checks and balances and all that stuff in place. But you know what? I want to go ahead. I'll dive into that. We'll touch on that in a little bit. But the first thing is when you're looking for subcontractors is, you want to make sure that, they have a good reputation and that they're able to provide you with references. Because, anyone can, get their business license and say, hey, I just got into business. I don't know how to get business. I don't even really know how to do the business that I just got into, but you can use me as a subcontractor, right? You could be in a situation where, they're really just learning off of you and off of your clients. And that's not really the best situation for you to be in, especially if you're trying to grow your business and you're, looking for, you're looking for ways to expand. You want to be able to take your mind off of the day-to-day tasks and work more on like growing the business and work on the business rather than in it. If you put a person in it or a company in it and they're not really qualified to be there, I promise you that can hurt, right? Because they're learning. Everyone is not created equal. They don't all know that they don't all know what they're supposed to do, right? Making sure that they are licensed to be, making sure that they're licensed, generally just to have their business license, they have the proper insurance. So one of the things that I'll tell you is this: just because we have regular commercial insurance, we have our $2 million aggregate or $1 million per occurrence insurance plus your bond, there's still jobs that you may not be insured to do. So you want to make sure that if you're bringing in a subcontractor who, say, for example, if they're just doing strip and waxes, right? Well, that's not. You got to make sure that their insurance covers them. They may not even know that insurance that they have may not be sufficient enough to cover what it is that they're trying to do, right? So you definitely want to make sure that they're covered. How high up are they going in the air? Is it something where where it requires high dusting, and this is an account that you put a subcontractor in, and now they got to get a ladder and they got to reach high up in the air to go dust or whatever the case is? Does their insurance cover them? How high off the ground does their insurance cover them to go? These are all things that you definitely have to take into consideration. And again, they may not even know that. Right. So you have to definitely make sure that you do your due diligence, make sure that, that they know that, what their insurance covers and what it doesn't cover. So those are all things that you want to take into consideration. And then looking at the jobs too, I just spoke on, strip and waxes, right? What is your subcontractor? What are they an expert in? I have a guy, he is really good at doing our strip and waxes, right? He's really good at all our floor work. So I sub out all of our floor work. Do I know how to do it? Yes. Can I have employees do it? Yes. But I'd rather sub that out because he's an expert in it. I'm not an expert when it comes to, the stripping and waxes, the carpet cleaning, but he is. So he has all of the necessary insurances. Everything is in place. Go ahead and let him get those jobs. And then we take a percentage out of all of the floor jobs that we send to him. So making sure that you know exactly, who your people are, what are their strong points, what are their weak points. His weak points are he can't really do a lot of accounts that require the cleaning, but he gets really good at specialty jobs, which is fine. That all just comes from knowing your people, knowing exactly what their strengths are versus what their weaknesses are. How is their quality, right? How is the quality of their work? We had a company and they did decent floor work, right? The floor work that they did was decent. And it was one of those situations where I was just really starting to get into, subcontracting. I had an account, it was paying us, I want to say this account was paying us about $4,000 a month. It was twice a week. It was a pretty big account. And it wasn't a hard account, but I put them in there to clean the account because they had did some floor work for us, me thinking that, hey, if they can do the floor, they can do everything else. We ended up losing that account because they were new. And I didn't have all of my pieces in place, so I'll take ownership on that part. But they didn't know how to clean, and they're being watched on camera. So when I come in, I get called in. There's nothing I can say to really defend them, and it's not really me defending them; it's me defending my company because my company had a relationship with that client. That client never had a relationship with that subcontractor, right? So that falls on me. That's all my fault. So making sure that the quality of work that you put these people in, making sure that you can stand behind it, that it is the standard for what you want to bring in your company. Because all of this stuff, especially when you start working in industries that are related, like you have your all your dental stuff, all of that stuff's all related, right? They all know each other. I just came back from a walkthrough today, and one of his questions was, hey, what other dental accounts do you guys do in the area? Well, we have 7 or 8 other dental accounts in that specific area, and he knew half of them. So if we're in those other accounts and we're doing bad work, like bad news travels fast. So when you put your subcontractors in these accounts, please make sure that they're doing all of the things and it's up to your standard. You're not just taking someone who says that, hey, I can do this job, or we know how to do this. No, they have to actually know what they're doing, have quality work, because their work is going to be a representation of you and your reputation. So they got to definitely make sure that all of those things are checked off. Communication is key, right? Communication is really one of the biggest things when it comes down to, having a quality subcontractor, right? How well are you guys able to communicate? I had a subcontractor. We ended up letting him go. it was a bad situation. But in the beginning, it was good. But the communication between us was never good. He was from another country and he had a speech impediment. So a lot of the conversation went between either myself or my operations manager, and then his manager, or it was his wife. That's where a lot of the communication went. So once I found out, like, okay, I can't really understand what he's saying when he's telling me, whatever he's telling me, he's gonna have to relay that to his wife, and then we'll be able to go ahead and get on common ground. But it's just like I was saying last week and the other one with the employees, right? You can use an app. Like if you don't speak a certain language, or if they're from somewhere else, you don't speak. There's apps out there, free apps that you can use to make sure that everybody's on the same page when it comes to the communication piece. You know what I mean? Having consistent reliability, being able to rely on your subcontractors, guys. That's key. There's only been one instance in the last year where a subcontractor has called and was like, "Hey, two. One of them, their wife is really, really sick, like real sick, and then the other one, he just had some car issues." But the point is, I'm able to rely on my subcontractors because it's not my job to cover their slack. My job is to do exactly what I presented myself to do in the beginning, which was be able to get you quality work, and be the go between yourself and the customer, right? And that's really what we set up to do. Like that's our thing. That's what we do, and making sure that we can rely on them to do the things that they say that they're supposed to do. Now, when it comes to like supply, equipment, all of those things, this is one of the best parts about having subcontractors. When it comes to the equipment, when it comes to all the supplies, it's their responsibility to make sure that they have all the cleaning equipment, all of the supplies, all the vacuums, they're checking all the gloves, everything. This is up to them. This is their responsibility to make sure that they have it. But it's up to us as the prime, right? As the prime account holder, it's up to us to make sure that they have the right equipment. We've had situations in the past where subcontractors will show up to a 4,000 square foot, building with the Hoover vacuum cleaner, like one of those stand-up upright ones that you use for the house. That's not a commercial vacuum. And then when the customer sees that, the customer thinking in their mind, like, wait a minute, I got that kind of vacuum at home. Why am I paying this company all this money to come in and do a good quality job, professional job, and they don't even have professional equipment? So you have to make sure that they have all of the proper supplies. They're responsible for their own supplies, but they have to have the right supplies. So one of the things that we did in the business, once I realized, like, wait a minute, this is the second person who came in and they don't even have the stuff that they're supposed to have. A prerequisite to being a subcontractor for us, we need to see your supply list. And if you don't know what supplies you're supposed to have, we provide a list for them. We provide the supply list saying, hey, you need to have a backpack vacuum, or at least a commercial stand-up vacuum. We show them all the sanitizing, disinfectants, all the things, and then we also will give them some of our best practices. We don't train them because where we are in my state, we can't train them. It may be different where you are, but we don't train our subcontractors. We'll give them pointers and we'll give them tips and best suggestions or best practices, but it's up to them to take that in and to be able to use it to make sure that they are saving their investment. Because when they do business with us, it is an investment. We make sure that it's an investment because they are investing in their own business, but doing it through us, right? Because we want to make sure that they have skin in the game too. Like if I lose a client because of something that they did, I don't want them looking at it like, okay, well, we'll learn next time. No, it's going to hurt me financially, and it's going to hurt them too because they've invested in it, right? And everyone can do things a little bit different. If you guys want, I'll touch on that here in a little bit, show you kind of like some of the things that we do as far as making sure that, they have a vested interest in making sure that they're just doing the job that they say that they're going to do. So I'll touch on that here in a minute. One of the other things when it comes to subcontractors, I have to be clear on this. There comes times in this business, especially right now, where it can be hard to find employees, right? We all know that. That was really one of the topics that I touched on with this dentist I was just at today doing a walkthrough. He was talking about quality of employees. Once he figured out I was the owner of the company, his whole demeanor changed, and we start talking about owner type stuff, right? And that's one of the things that came up. Me being the owner and everybody's having problems with employees, so on and so forth. And it was one of those things where I outright asked him, I said, hey, the company that you're dealing with right now, I said, are they using subcontractors? He's like, I don't really know what they're using. But you see the bathroom, it doesn't look like they're using anything. It doesn't look like anybody's been here. Right. And this is one of those things that it's just like, okay, it's almost normal for me to hear that on a regular basis, especially when I go into dental places or other places and it's just not clean. They don't know who's using what, who's coming in, who's being used. And my point is, and I'm gonna wrap this point up real quick. Being that this industry, it can be a high turnover depending on how you run your company, right? It can definitely be a high turnover. Sometimes we'll make decisions, like quick decisions, out of desperation, right? And that's never the best move. I'll just be honest. It's never the best move to make a financial decision out of desperation. So I'm going to show you something that I pulled up today. Actually, it just came across my feed, really. But this is, let's see. This is a thing that came across my Facebook. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, here we go. All right, boom. Let's see. Nope. Guys, I've been trying my best to get up earlier than normal, and today is whooping me. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is a post that I had came across on Facebook. Now, this is someone who starts off with please in capital letters. Said, I need staff with or without documents who want to work Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. cleaning offices. Now, I don't know where this person is, the salary of R. I don't know what that means. But this is an Amazon building. This is what they posted. I blacked out the name. I blacked out all that stuff just because I really just wanted to use this as a learning experience. I don't want to put this person on blast because I don't even know who this is personally. But this is what I'm talking about of making decisions out of desperation. Now, where I am, and in most of the places in the U.S., we can't, even though it's common, it happens more in this type of industry and construction than a lot of other industries that are more closely regulated, I guess. But it's not uncommon for people to take, people who either don't have a business or someone who doesn't have paperwork, and then turn them into a 1099, which is just a subcontractor, right? And I understand why they do it because it's cheaper for us. It's cheaper for us in the long run because we don't have to all the stuff I just went over. We don't have to worry about glove supplies, all those other things, payroll taxes, so on and so forth. It's cheaper, and it's a little bit more attractive. But at the end of the day, like this right here will get you in so much trouble that it's not even going to be worth it. So that's the other thing. It goes back to what I was saying earlier about making sure that people have all of their licenses and all of those things in place. Because if you have to make sure that people have the things they're supposed to have. They should have their business license. They should have their EIN. They need to have a business bank account, regardless of whether they're doing an LLC, an S corp, or even if they're a sole proprietor. These are the things that they should have considered a subcontractor. At least that's the way that it is in my state. You want to check with the L&I office in your state. And the only reason why I know this for sure is because I check with my L&I office. Like I have my person. I call her all the time, right? Or whenever I need her, when she knows who I am. So these are things that sometimes people will try to jump over to avoid having to pay for those extra fees or those extra. And I understand, I get it, but don't be in such a rush or don't act out of desperation and put yourself in a bad situation to where later on you could be in a situation where that's going to cost you way more money than it should have. Because if you get caught, you're going to end up having to pay back all of that back stuff as if they were actually an employee this whole time. So just be mindful of that. And this is me not giving I don't really want to give advice and giving information. When you do with it what you choose. Does that make sense to everyone so far? If anyone has any questions on what I touched on so far, feel free to go ahead, hop in. If you're on Facebook, by the way, I can't see your comments, so you gotta come in on YouTube. Okay, Tracy, what's going on, Tracy? Tracy said I'm good. Melissa's here. Okay, okay. Guys, if you guys are getting value so far, please go ahead and hit the like button. You know what I mean? It doesn't cost you anything, but at the end of the day, it means the world to me. I gotta beat this algorithm. I don't know. I think YouTube got something against me. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, if no one has questions, Tracy says I'm good. But then we just gonna keep on pushing. Um, when it comes to contracts and agreements, now this is something that I came up with in my company. I'll get to you here in 1 second, Silver. When it comes to the contract in my company, this is the way that we do things. We have three different agreements. We have a general agreement that says, you're going to be in business with us and what that looks like, right? Things to expect. We break down all of our deposit information. All of those things are broken down within that contract. Now, once they sign that contract, if they don't have any accounts, they're still free to walk away. The information that's in the contract is just saying, okay, we acknowledge that these are the things that are in this contract, and doing business with my company says that we're going to agree to this. Okay, so that's the first contract. The second one is non-solicitation. Okay, and this is specifically for subcontractors. The second one is a non-solicitation. I don't like people signing non-compete because I don't really care if they go out and compete. I don't want to stop them from getting money. And I don't have to be tied to all of the money that they get. So they can go out and still grow their business without us, right? That's completely fine. But when I say non-solicitation, you're able to go out, grow business, but you're not able to solicit to my customers, right? And any customers that I have, you're not able to solicit to. So this is our non-solicitation agreement. And the last one is going to be our site-specific contract. So let's say, for example, I have one subcontractor and they service 3 of our locations. Okay, so if they're serving 3 of our locations, then each location is going to have different requirements. One location, they say, hey, we're going to pay X amount of dollars here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Other locations, same thing, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and so on and so forth. In each one of those contracts, there's going to be an alarm code that you need to abide by. Then there's going to be keys that you're going to abide by. There's going to be all the things that come with it. The pay amount. Each one's going to be different. So you're going to have your general contract, your non-solicitation, and then your site specific, right? And these are the 3 contracts that we use. Now you can use however you use the contracts in your business. That's completely fine. But this is the way that we do things where I am, and I found that has worked the best for us. Everything is clean cut to the point. They understand exactly what they're getting into. They know what they're responsible for, and things have just been easy that way, right? They know what the deposit is, so on and so forth. Okay, Silver says, can we hire? Let me see. Can we hire 299 if they don't have a license? To my understanding, Silver, no. To my understanding, I know what the ITIN is. If they don't have a license, no. And you're going to have to. Things may have changed, but to my understanding, no. Especially in Washington, an ITIN is basically just like a mock social security number saying that they can pay taxes, but they have to be registered. They have to have a registered business license in the state, in my state, in order for them to be considered a subcontractor. This is what I was told from Illinois. This is what they do. Things may have changed, but you feel free, reach out, contact them, talk to them, and you can kind of go from there. But the last time I checked on that ITIN, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, they told me no, they cannot. They have to have a registered business, and the way you can check if it's registered is going to the Secretary of State and then just typing in their business name or their UBI, and it'll come up and show you, if it's registered, if it's valid, so on and so forth. So that's to my understanding, right? As of a year and a half, 2 years ago. So that's something that you definitely want to check out. Any questions? Any other questions so far? How we doing? we doing, guys? I don't want to bore you guys. I definitely want to make sure that you guys are definitely getting value. I'm here to provide the value as much as I can, as best as I can. If you are getting value, once again, I'm gonna ask you go ahead and hit the like button for me one time. I do appreciate it. Um, and then another thing I want to touch on real quick is being professional, having a professional appearance. Uh, if if a if they go into a building and there still may be staff that are there that are of that account, the staff speak back. If they go into a building and the staff is on the phone, don't just barge in and just start emptying out the trash can or start vacuuming. You have to be professional. And I'm only saying all this stuff because this is real situation. Like this stuff really did happen in my company. So you want to make sure that people are definitely professional, that they're training their staff to be professional, because at the end of the day, again, like they are an extension to you. The customer doesn't know that these people aren't really workers of yours. They just know that you're the cleaning company and they're in their cleaning. So by extension, they're a representation of your company. You want to make sure that that they're not coming to work drunk, or making sure they're not coming to work smelling like something that they should be smelling like at work, right? So all of these things are extensions of your business. You want to make sure that you're providing the value that you told the customer that you were going to be able to provide when you first took the contract. So it says, what systems do I use to schedule my subs and communications with subs? So that's a really, really good question. When it comes to scheduling our subcontractors, so that goes back to the site specific contract. It goes back to the site specific contract, and in the contract it says when are their hours to be there. So let's say, for example, if it's Friday or Saturday, or if it's just a weekend clean, the customer says, I don't really care as long as it's done by Monday. Well, what we'll do is we'll say, okay, the work needs to be completed by the close of business, so 6 o'clock Friday, and by 5 o'clock Saturday, right? You got a 24-hour window to get your staff in there and get this building clean, right? So we don't necessarily have to schedule them to go there because they're their own business. Technically, we really can't schedule them. We just give them a window, a time frame for where they go in and operate. And once they've reached that window, and we don't get notification or something saying that, hey, this was completed or it wasn't completed, that allows us Sunday to go in and do it. Worst case scenario, if they didn't go in and clean the way they were supposed to, I'm able to dispatch some of my staff to go out and make sure it's clean on Sunday. So following day, Monday, when the customer gets in, everything is clean. But now, especially if I didn't hear anything from the subcontractor, now we have to have a completely different type of conversation. But at the end of the day, like we're in service to make sure that the customer is satisfied. Everything that happens behind the curtain happens behind the curtain. We may end up having to pull that subcontractor out. It's happened, numerous amounts of times. Let's see. Yes, we do have a contract sale, cleanthingsolutions.com, but I need to get with my developer because right now he added a little bit too much. It's too expensive right now, and I don't want to charge people what it is, so I have to change the price of the contract for sale. Now, when you say contracts for sale, you're just meaning a template, right? You're not talking about accounts for sale. You're talking about the template. I want to make sure I understand you correct. Let me know about that, B. Parker. And let's see here. It says, sorry, I just joined. What's the most efficient way to find good cleaners? Okay, so I'll tell you where I get all of my cleaners, my subcontractors. I'll tell you where I get them. I get every person that we've ever gotten, or not ever gotten. The most cost effective, the best cleaners that we've had have all come through Facebook. Now, we use a different method on how we do it. I can't really discuss how our exact method we do on YouTube, just because it wouldn't be fair to everyone who's joined Inner Circle, or to everyone who's joined the executive plan, which is our course. I go through everything in detail in that. So I can only tell you we go through Facebook. I haven't seen anyone else do it the way that we do it. It's doesn't cost us any money to do it this way, and it's been really effective. But as far as going through detail, I can't dive too far into that, but just because I teach it in the course, and I don't want to be, I don't want to shortchange anybody who's already invested in themselves. So, okay, so yeah, so the template. Give me a day, me partner. Give me a day. Um, and someone else asked me about this last week, so I got to do this. I gotta set myself a reminder. Uh, to go ahead and make sure that that's changed. But if it's at cleanthingsolutions.com, go to, I want to say it's under contracts. But right now, don't buy it right now because it's way too expensive and it never should have been the price point that it's set at. So there are all three templates in there are for sale, as well as all three templates are for sale, as well as the template to our proposals. Those are all for sale too. So but again, don't buy any of that stuff right now. Um, Wait a day or two, go back, check it out, and then go from there because it's way too expensive right now, and I don't want people to pay that amount. Uh, is there an app for communication with hubs and scheduling? There are apps for. It depends on when you say communication silver, who are you referring to? Are you referring to the? Are you referring to to your staff, your subcontractors? Who are you referring to? So I gotta know that part. Okay. Yeah. Uh, how do I always come with how much it costs? So everything is on cleanthingsolutions.com, or you can actually go to the description. It's our executive report. Everything is in there. That's going to show you everything is in there. Exactly, what it comes with, how much it is. If Tracy's still on here, Tracy is a member. She just got. I don't know if Tracy, maybe she could chime in real quick and let you know in real time how what if she's getting value out of that. So everyone that's gotten it so far, everyone has said nothing but really good things. Silver says communication with subs back and forth. To be honest, there I built out an app, but it's not up to par to our Silver. So give me a couple of days and I'll have a solution for you. Give me a couple of days, I'll have that solution. So we just gotta tweak a few things. Let's see. Do I still have cold callers? I need to build my cleaning business out. Oh, yes, man, yes. We do still have cold callers, but and we were still doing appointment setting. We still do it, but I need it to. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I did it. I changed the way that we're doing it. I had to raise the prices on it, not necessarily the price on it. But I needed to increase the quantity that people could get because I know that it works. But I'm trying to deter people from getting it. I really want my people to focus back on what we're doing. We built out, we probably set close to 100 appointments for people all across the country just within the past year. But I need them to make their focus on our company right now, just so we can get this built back up. We lost a lot of money over in the last year. That's just me being transparent because naturally you're going to lose anyway. Accounts are going to come and go. You just got to make sure that you're consistently getting them. Man, you're the champ, oh man. I yeah, I feel you, man. That's one of those things where I'm glad you realized. I don't know how long you've been with Jam Pro, but I'm glad you realized you build outside of there. One of the good things in the course too is a few of the good things. I do show you how to do like all your email marketing. I show you how to make yourself more findable. I offer SEO. Right, there's an SEO package that's not in the course. It's an outside thing, website building, the whole nine. And I'm in the middle of partnering with. Now you know what I'm not going to say that just yet. I'm not going to say it just yet. But we do show you can get your own. You can get your own accounts. So that's one of the things. I understand exactly where you're coming from. What city are you out of? You remind me, what city are you out of, B. Parker? I think Tracy must have took off. Tracy not here no more. Yeah, yeah, but guys, you know, subcontractors, it is a good way to scale your business. But also too, You guys have to, you know what I didn't show you? Oh, y'all are Trenton, New Jersey. Um, give me a second, guys. Let me show you something real quick. I made this. I made this thing. It's not a thing. It's a subcontractor analysis. I don't know if um, this is one. This is something that I still use in my company. Like I use this right now to let me know, like, is this going to be a good account to even subcontract in? Is this going to be something that's how profitable is it going to be? So let me show you guys this. And this is I need to put this on. I need to actually put this on. Um, I think it's in the course, but it should definitely be in there. So, all right, let me show you guys this. This is the one. This is just fake. Let me present this to you real quick. So you guys get an idea, man, because the other thing too is when you're subcontracting, you kind of gotta have a little bit of volume. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to have some volume in there when you're subcontracting. Okay, boom. Tracy's right here. Let me go ahead and first let me share this so you guys can see what's going on. And let me show. This is Tracy. And I'm not paying Tracy. I didn't read it. I didn't pay her to say this. I haven't read it yet. It says I'm getting a lot out of the course. Mark's already answered a lot of questions. Very thorough. Yeah, Tracy, I appreciate you. Look at you. Yeah, Tracy, we got to set up that other call too. So DM me, and we'll get everything set up. So that way, I just want you to be able to get the most out of everything and get all of the traction that I know you can have. Because in your city is one of those. It's a big city, big market. You can make a lot of. You can make a big dent in that city. It's a lot of opportunity there. So, guys, this is my employee subcontractor analysis, right? And these are just fake numbers that I put in. I was showing somebody else how to do this thing, right? So, let's say, for example, let me go ahead and delete all of this so you guys can see exactly what's going on, right? All right. So, let's say, for example, right, let's start from the beginning. Let's say that let's say that an employee costs $22 an hour, right? $22 an hour. And these are all estimates. None of this stuff is 100% accurate. This is all estimates. So an employee is going to cost you $22 an hour. Let's say that your subcontractor split is 60-40. They're going to get more money on the account than you. I just want to make that clear. So whatever you choose your split to be, your subcontractors are going to make more money on the account than you're going to make. That's just the way it goes. They got a lot of things to pay for. This is why I say with subcontractors, it's a lot of volume. Depending on where you are in your business, it might or it might not be a good deal for you. But let's go ahead and figure it out. So we're at 60%. Okay, everything is zeroed out. There's nothing here. So let's just say this first account is a daycare, right? Days of service. Let's just say Monday through Friday. Okay, times per week. You want 5 days a week. How many hours is this daycare going to take you to clean? One person. One person is going to take 3 hours to get the daycare clean. Okay. And the amount that we're going to charge to the client. How much money are we getting ready to charge this client every single month to make sure that we're there Monday through Friday? And it's going to take us 3 hours to clean, right? So let's say that this is going to cost, let's say, $2,500. Actually, no, especially not in Washington. That's probably going to be more like 41. So that's $4,100. Okay. So if you were to take this number, everything I just went over, for an employee to the amount to have an employee do this is going to be $1,320. Now, if you got to pay this to a subcontractor at 60%, then it's going to be $2,460. Okay. So your profit with your employee is $2,780. The profit with a subcontractor is $1,320, right? So this is going to show you your grand total of the total amount of accounts that you have. This is what it's worth per year, $49,000. Okay, and then it says all account staff with W4 workers. Okay, that's 3220. And then this is going to be 2460. Okay, so let's take another account, right? because every account, they're all going to be different. Let's say that this one is, I don't know, they do mortgages. Okay, they do mortgages. They want you there on Fridays, 1 day a week. Let's say this pays you for 20. Oh wait, my bad. This is going to take you an hour and a half to complete. They're going to pay 420. Okay. So the amount you're going to pay an employee, 142.89. The amount you're going to pay a subcontractor, subcontracting them out at 20. I'm sorry, it's going to be 252 if you're subbing them out at 60%. Okay. The profit 277. Profit with a subcontractor 142. Okay. So depending on where you are in your business, this is why I say like having subcontractors is cool, but depending on where you are, things could be it might make more sense to have employees, or it might make more sense to have subcontractors if your base amount is already taken care of, if it's already paid for. If you can pay all of your regular expenses plus still be good, personally on a financial level, then it might make more sense after that to start getting employees. I don't want to just be the people want to tell you guys like, hey, you can start your cleaning business and only use subcontractors, and then you're going to be good living on the beach, you know what I mean, and taking trips and taking flights. You know, I haven't seen anyone who's new in the industry. I've only actually met one person who does that type of lifestyle in this business. Most people either one way with an employee or the other, and they're trying to figure things out. But a lot of other people are kind of like me, where everything is blended, right? So let's take another one. Let's take our last one. Let's say that this one is, we don't got to worry about a name or nothing. Let's just say it's 7 days a week. It takes 4 hours to complete. Say it's a dealership. It's going to pay us $17,000 a month for one person. I'm telling you now, one person is not going to be able to do a dealership, because at 7 days a week, you're going to need more than one person. Just so we're clear, at minimum you're going to need two, maybe three, right? But at one person, this is 26, 67, 28. If you were to pay this out to a subcontractor, that's $10,000. The profit with an employee, 1432, 72. And that's not true profit. Take into consideration that you're going to have to pay for gloves, you're going to have to pay for the laundry to get done, you're going to have to pay for solutions unless the dealership provides solutions as far as like all the chemical, which they might. We have dealerships where they provide their own chemicals, some that don't. So take that into consideration. These are just rough numbers. This is a rough estimate. So your profit with the subcontractor based on this is 26, 67, and 28 cents. It might make more sense to put a subcontractor in this and let them worry about all of the other supplies. Let them worry about the gloves, the staffing. Let them worry about all of that. It may make more sense to do it that way rather than you being time on the account having to worry about everything. So to keep that into consideration, it all balances out. But based on these numbers that we just threw in here, this person is making $21,520, which is $258, $240 a month here. The breakdown, right? So 19.9% of your income is going to go to labor with a W-4. 60%, obviously, if you're using a subcontractor, is going to go to subcontractor. If all of your accounts are staffed with W-4 workers, this is what you're paying out. And if they're all staffed with subcontractors, this is what you're paying out. Okay, based on, and this W-4 amount is based on the $22 an hour. So this is just one of the tools that I use in my company to help me decide, is it better for me to use a subcontractor, or is it better for me to use an employee? And this is how I created it, because I got tired of every single time it was time for me to do it, that I had to go in and put the math in and do it that way. Tracy, I'm going to get you this. I'm going to get you this. Send me a message on DM, and I have to make sure that I get you this, because I'm not 100% sure if I included this inside of the course, but it should be. This should be inside of the course. But for anyone else who's looking for this form, is this helpful? Was any of that? Did any of it make sense, guys? Was I talking too fast? Is this something that people would be interested in? Let me know. Let me know right now. Um, what you guys think, if this is something that you would be interested in getting. I'm not selling this, by the way. This is something that's I'm just going to include in. I want you to be successful. You know what I mean? And if you're getting value out of any of this stuff that I'm saying, go ahead and hit the like button if you haven't hit it already. I appreciate you. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you guys want me to make this available for people to be able to go ahead and download. Okay. All right, B Parker, very much. Okay, what percentage do you take when you partner with task-specific jobs? So, um, all of our up until Silver, up until um, maybe like 6 or 7 months ago, we just took a 70-30 split across the board. But now we've moved things back. So I don't care really what job it is. If you're a new subcontractor, you're going to be starting off at between 60 and 65%. This is what they're going to walk away with. And as time goes on, and they're doing a good job, and we can rely on them, they're shown all of the things of being someone that's trustworthy, all of those things that come with having a good subcontractor. Then we'll start to slowly increase that rate up to 70%. But it really all depends again. So like who you are, your business, and what your ultimate goals are. Because if this model would say you just want to take subcontract everything out, you don't want to have an office, which guys, if you're 100% subcontracted, you don't really need an office, right? So if you just say, hey, I don't want to have an office, I want to live abroad, but I have all of my things in a row. I make sure that accounts are being checked. I have a system in place. You can do this with 100% subcontractors if you're like living somewhere else that where the cost of living is way cheaper. So you can have a virtual business, but you got to have other things got to be dialed in, other things got to be on point, so that you're good. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that you're good. All right, B Parker. So what I'm going to do is at the end of this live, I'm going to put this. I'll put the link to this in the description, so that way you can just go ahead, download it, and then also I put it in red, so you can click on make a copy. Go to file, click on make a copy. That way you can get a copy of it, because you won't have editable rights to this. You can copy it. I'm not tripping on that. I just want you guys to be I want you to be successful, and go out there and really just make the right informed decisions, rather than just, hey, I heard so and so is doing subcontractors, and this is what I'm gonna do. I want you to make sure that you're making the best decision that's in the best interest for you and for your business. So that's really the main thing. That's the main takeaway that I want people to have. After we get off of this live, I just want you to be armed with the right information, and not just the thing that's that could be just bad or whatever. So, guys, we got any questions for me? You guys got any questions at all? I know Silver's been asking questions. B Parker, you guys. Once again, if you guys are looking for the course is in the description, and you can find it at cleansolutions.com. I gotta step my IG followers up. My IG is looking bare, so we gotta interact with each other on IG, guys. If you guys aren't following already, make sure you tap in with me on IG. Also, the Facebook group, the Inner Circle, that's in the description as well. Guys, go ahead and tap in there one time. It doesn't cost anything to join. I'm not charging anybody to join the group. But I just want you guys just to be able to have the most information, so that you feel empowered when you go out and start to grow your businesses. That's really what it all boils down to, right? So, but yeah, guys, if we don't have any more questions, man, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off of here, guys. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes, guys. If you guys are just getting in, we went over everything, as far as things that I look for in my business, in terms of bringing in subcontractors, where we go to get them. I didn't really dive too much in how we get them. That's going to be inside the course, but all of the things that we look for when it comes to getting our subcontractors. And you go back, feel free watch this video again, and hopefully you guys will be able to get value from it. He said, "Me too." Yeah, man, hit me on IG, Parker. I'll follow you right back. Man. I gotta grow this IG. But guys, if we don't got nothing else, man, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Guys, like I say, in the game of business, spectators only watch. Hustlers get into the game so they can win. Always dropping jewels. But the only way to be in position to pick them up is you got to like, comment, and subscribe. Once again, my name is Marcus Crockett. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.